The Loupedeck Live has been a very powerful companion when it comes to video editing and when it comes to live streaming as well. I'm actually genuinely surprised with what this device has been able to offer, and today I would like to talk about everything that this thing can do. Even though it's such a small device, it is absolutely packed with the utmost powerful software that I could possibly ask for, which is Loupedeck's own software. And not to mention that this thing, by itself, can manage your entire stream for you. So with that said, introducing the Loupedeck Live, let's go ahead and dive right in. So now, the exterior design for this device is going to be comprised of what I am assuming is metal. It does feel like it is really nicely built, and it does feel cold to the touch. This is something that I can very much appreciate, and I think that they did a really good job when it comes to the build itself. We have a very thin unibody design over here that is just absolutely fantastic. I have no complaints about the way that this thing has been designed, really, and it is still relatively lightweight, but it does have some nice grips around the feet for the bottom, where it just makes it so that it won't move from its spot no matter what, pretty much, unless you're doing so deliberately. But it is really nice that you can manage to control it this way. So far I've got no complaints about the build. And speaking of the build, we are working with a fantastic set of buttons, a fantastic set of knobs, and a fantastic display. Now we're going to get to the display in a separate section, I want to say, but for the time being, let's go ahead and talk about the buttons and the knobs. So the buttons themselves, we actually have a total of 8 of them, all of which are customizable, but they're meant to be able to flip between pages as you're going through all of your configurations, considering that you do have a total of 12 touch control panels over here to manipulate besides the sliders on the side. I think that this is a very nifty thing to have, so that gives you a total of 12 times 7, which I'm not entirely sure what that is, but regardless, you are getting a lot of controls here available to you if you are just able to cycle between them. And these buttons do feel very nice and satisfying to press. They're very clicky, and they do offer a great amount of feedback, which I do very much enjoy. Now, as for the knobs themselves, we're looking at some very precise knobs that do click into position every time that you turn them, which is very nice. And it appears that these are also constructed of the same material as the shell, if I'm not mistaken. So they do feel very premium to the touch, super premium to move around, and even when you click on them, it feels like a very satisfying, springy touch. So I do really like what they did here when it comes to the buttons layout, and when it comes to as well the knobs over here. So the construction, I think, is really top notch. This connects over a USB-C port, which I think is absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and move on to the display portion itself. So now the display itself is actually quite nice. So we are looking at something that does look really good. I'm actually going to go ahead and connect it over here, and there you go. So now we can actually have an image on screen over here, but this display does look very good, and it does get very bright as well. So this is something that's going to be very easy to see even during well-lit situations, and it's also going to be very easy to see during situations where it's not so well lit. So we're looking at a very good package here that I do very much appreciate. These buttons do light up as well, which is something worth considering too. So this will work very nicely under very dim circumstances and situations and things like that. So no worries there. I think that they included a fantastic display over here. All of these buttons are going to be touch sensitive as well, by the way, so they're all going to offer feedback. So when you click on one, it's going to vibrate, and it's going to offer a great amount of feedback in that sense. Now let's go ahead and talk about the Loupedeck software pretty quickly. So the Loupedeck software is where you're going to manage all of your profiles, manage all of your customizations essentially for this, and you will be able to use this in conjunction with whatever software you're using. You can even download plugins, from my experience, from other people that have created their own plugins to work very well with whatever streaming service you're using, or whatever video editing service you're using, photo editing, just whatever kind of work you do. This device should be able to suffice for just about everything for you, especially with those 12 touch sensitive control buttons. Now with that said, you do get a lot of functionality with these, and the fact that the software allows for so much flexibility is something that I can absolutely get behind. I am pretty familiar with Loupedeck Loupedeck software already, as I do actually already use a Loupedeck CT for all of my needs, but I have switched over to this device for some time, and I have to say that I absolutely love everything that this device has to offer. So guaranteed, I can say that Loupedeck software, when it comes to just the customizations that it allows you to do, when it comes to adding shortcuts, transitions, volume controls, other kinds of controls such as microphone gain, controlling Spotify, for instance, on its own if you need to during a live stream, and that kind of thing. Everything can be done through this one interface, which is what makes it so powerful, and the software does allow for all of that to be doable. So when it comes to the editing prowess, like I was saying, I have used this for video editing at least a couple of times, and this thing has been absolutely fantastic. It does take some time to set everything up, but it also does help that I do have a DaVinci Resolve plugin already set to go for me. So I just go ahead and plug that onto this. Since I already use a Loupedeck CT, I just move that profile over, and there you have it. Now you have a fully capable editing machine for you that can help you when it comes to cuts, that can help you when it comes to getting to your shortcuts, accessing other settings within your video editing application. This is absolutely fantastic, and as a video editor, I really appreciate having the Loupedeck Live. So now, in conclusion, I think that the Loupedeck Live is a very fantastic device for what it is. It is a very tiny interface that allows you to do streaming very easily, allows you to do video editing, allows you to do so much more just like that. And it just allows for a lot of flexibility, I think, when it comes to gaining control over whatever software you use to get work done. So when it comes to having your shortcuts and everything set in one place and one interface, I think that all of that is extremely valuable as a creative professional. So with that said, if you're somebody that's looking for a solution like that, I would say that the price behind this is absolutely doable and totally worth it, because at the end of the day, you're going to get your money back from how much more efficient you will become with a device like this. So with that said, strongly recommend it. Now, thank you so much for watching this video all the way up until the very end. I do very much appreciate it. If you want to purchase this, then I'll be making sure to leave affiliate links if I can find any affiliate links to the Loupedeck Live and other Loupedeck products as well, because again, they do make a lot of really great stuff that I've been using for a long time, a couple of years now. And now, if you are to use my affiliate links, then you will be helping out the channel a lot, because it makes it a lot easier for us to get more review units to be able to include on this channel. So links to that down below. Please make sure to use those, because it does help us out a lot. With that said, I do have other social media, so please make sure to follow me over there. It's all going to be linked down below. And with that said, this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and until next time, enjoy.